If you're hearing this, then it means that Malchy Lock has chosen you. I say this so that when the time comes for you to make your decision, you will be fully informed. I wish you all the best, my dear. I know you'll choose right. Malchy will come for you when you are not expecting it, when you have just begun to accept the mediocrity of life and your place in it. You will likely be young. He tends to choose his lovers young, for which you should be grateful. In fact, I guarantee that no matter what age you are when he takes you away, you will wish he had come sooner. If you are 18, as I was, you will wish you had been 16. 16, and you will wish 14. The life you had before meeting him will seem so worthless, so contemptible that you will despise every year you spend away from him. But that, I am happy to say, will be the only regret you will ever have. Life with him will be a waking dream. He will take you anywhere in the world that you ask him, to places that you had only imagined. He'll give you anything you want, although you will only want him. You will live with him, eat with him, sleep with him, and wake every morning to find him still there, still loving you faithfully. And he will only need one thing in return from you. Like a gentleman, Malchy will not bring it up at first, but as the days go by, you will see him begin to change. When you meet him, he looked 25, 30 perhaps, but now he will look older. Silver threads will shimmer in his hair, lines will cross his face, his skin will thin, bones and tendons emerge, and you will worry. He's aging before your eyes, and you will fear losing him. So of course, you'll do anything he asks to make him well again. All I would advise, for the first time, is just to relax. Let his fingers trace your throat, perhaps turn your head to the side so he can press his lips to your neck. It will not be with his teeth. They're sharp, can crush bone, and he doesn't want to hurt you. It will be a tiny blade, one he'll keep on the table beside your bed, and you won't even feel the incision. A little cut, not a quarter inch across, and then he will just be kissing you. Turn on the bedside light. Look how beautiful he is, with your blood glistening on his lips. Watch as his body, illuminated by the yellow lamplight, becomes younger in a matter of moments. His skin will soften, his face become smooth, his hair darken until it is as thick and black and healthy as a bull's, and he will look 21. You will soon become used to his routine. In fact, you will come to enjoy it. It is something that you can give back to him, to repay him for the love that he shows you. And he needs so little, a few tablespoons worth of blood at a time, that you will barely notice it. Weeks will go by, and you will find yourself desperate for him to take more, as much as you can give him. For him to drink your blood by the gallonful, to devour you completely. Malchy will oblige, within reason, of course. More blood, but not enough to hurt you. Certainly not enough to kill you. He needs you, wants you to live a long time with him. Use scarves and high-collared clothes to hide the scars that decorate your throat, the cuts that dance around your neck. Realize, though, that even if you keep the scars hidden from view, people will notice the change in you. Not physically, but they will notice how you act around them, how you are aching whenever you are away from Malchy. You will turn every conversation to him, this mysterious lover in the life that you share together. If you try to introduce him to friends and family to quell their concerns, they will only grow more afraid. Although they can't be put into words, something about him makes them uneasy. A certain fire in his eyes, a fierceness in his laugh, something they feel is off. They will question you constantly about him, beg you to leave him and come back home. Sever all contact with them. Malchy is the only family you need, the only friend you could ever want. Your lives are intertwined irreversibly, and you will be glad of it. Life will suddenly seem simpler, everything thrown into perfect clarity. He will hide his failing health from you at first, Please forgive him for that. It was only when I noticed the first gray hair return to his head that he told me the truth. That he couldn't live on blood alone, not forever. No matter how much I poured out for him, it would be like trying to survive on only water. He was going to keep aging, grow weaker. He would live another 3 months, perhaps 4. That's why you will have to make your decision. How much do you love Malchy Lock? What would you sacrifice to be with him? He will not die if you refuse him. You understand. He'll simply find another woman, one who will give him what he needs. But you want his love for yourself, so you will do what it takes to keep him. I remember how scared I was. The night he planned the first excision. We made love first, and then he took a wooden box from the bedside cabinet. Inside were gleaming silver scalpels, scissors, curets, and clamps, forceps, retractors, bone chisels, and needles. A bottle of pills, a bottle of alcohol, and a metal dish ready to collect my flesh. Where he cuts will be up to you. It can be a lump of tissue from your belly or breast, or one of your fingers or toes. There are lots of different options, and he will explain them all to you so that you can decide for yourself. Try not to worry. He will not need to take much. Human flesh, like blood, goes a long way. That first time, he assured me that an ounce, even a half ounce, would be plenty. Enough to restore him to health for months more. He put 2 pills into the palm of my hand and I swallowed them down with some of the alcohol, willing them to work fast. As my senses dulled, I heard him ask me if I had made my decision about where to cut. I closed my eyes and pinched an inch of belly fat between my fingertips. Malchy murmured his approval. That was a good place, he said. No one would see the scar under my clothes, and there was plenty of loose skin to stitch me back together. No need to be concerned, he whispered, as he rubbed alcohol onto the area. This operation was so simple, he could do it in his sleep. He pressed a kiss to my cheeks, to my eyelids, and then brought the blade onto my skin. The scalpel cut into my belly, and the pain shot through me, bright and clear despite the drugs. Like a coward, I cried out, begging him to stop. Such a coward. I wouldn't have blamed him if he'd carried on cutting, held me down to the bed if I tried to fight him. Cut out my heart then and there, the weak, treacherous heart that didn't love him enough to bear the pain. But Malchy stopped straight away, mid-incision. He is, as I said, a true gentleman, and he will take nothing from you that you did not freely give him. The metal dish remained empty. He stitched me up again, soothing me with his kisses. He licked the wound, lapping up the blood that had pooled in my belly button. He told me not to feel guilty, that he still had plenty of time for us to try again. And he reminded me of my options, where the cuts could be made, the flesh taken. Again, I remind you of the decision you will soon have to make. How much do you love Malchy Lock? What price are you willing to pay? What would you sacrifice? The choice I made was the same as any lover would have done. He was growing so sick as the weeks passed by, a dying flame. He slept most of the day, trembled at night in my arms. I held him close, fed him my blood, stroked his graying hair. We tried again 8 weeks later. Again, I downed the pills, drank straight vodka. The cut on my belly had healed a deep pink. I closed my eyes, ready for him to make a different incision. The metal dish was soon full. Not quite an ounce of flesh, Malchy said, but it was enough. He ate it raw, while I lay and watched the strength return to him. He was so very grateful. I would have plenty of time to heal, he assured me, before the next operation. Another 7 or 8 months before he'd need to feed again. And that is how it went, my dear. 8 months later, he made another excision and ate 6 ounces of flesh, then 10, then a full pound. A couple of times we tried for more, once a whole 3 pounds at once. But it was more difficult, took longer to heal, so Malchy decided a pound would be our limit. A pound is what we aim for after that. You'll find that, as with the blood, you want to give him more than simply what he needs, more than the bare minimum. There's a certain pleasure in giving him as much as you possibly can. But now, I'm too old. It was 30 years ago that he chose me. He hasn't aged, but I have. And now people who see us in the street may mistake him for my son, or even my grandson. Malchy laughs, but I can see the pain in his eyes. He knows that our time together is nearly at an end. So when I am dead, he will choose another lover. And if you're hearing this, then it means he's chosen you. Malchy offered to cut piece by piece, as he tried to do the first time, so I can stay with him a few years more. But I've asked him to just take my heart and get it over with. To be cut up like that terrifies me. And besides, he doesn't deserve to be stuck with me any longer. Nearly 50 years old and looking older by the day. He deserves someone young, beautiful. That's why he chose you. So tomorrow, it will be over. Tomorrow, he will devour my heart and then go to find you. I have given him so much flesh and bones, organs too, and hearts. But now I am too old to make him any more hearts. My